Hi, my name is Anthony. I'm sending this because I still don't know what to make of it. I'm not a spiritual guy. I don't go to church. I don't do horoscopes. I believe in what I can see. I believe in what I can touch. But this, I saw this, and I definitely touched it. I lost my dad back in 2012. His name was Earl, but nobody called him Earl. We called him Big Earl. The name fits him perfectly. He was the kind of guy who took up all the oxygen in the room, but in a good way. He had this deep, booming laugh that you could feel in the floorboards. When Big Earl laughed, the windows rattled. He loved two things in this life: barbecue ribs and telling jokes that weren't funny. He loved to mess with people. That was his love language. If he wasn't making fun of you, he probably didn't like you. When he died, the silence he left behind was deafening. The house felt too quiet. The backyard felt empty. I missed him every day, but I didn't really show it. I just tried to keep moving. I took over the grill. I tried to fill his shoes. Last summer, I went back home to visit my mom in South Carolina. It was August, and if you know the South in August, you know that heat. It was that thick, heavy, wet heat that sticks your shirt to your back. The air feels like soup. We had just finished a massive family dinner. Ribs, mac and cheese, the works. We were all in that heavy food coma state. The sun had gone down, and we were sitting out on the back porch. It was me, my mom, and my little nephew, Malik. Malik is 7, a ball of energy, but even he was tired from the heat. It was a perfect night. The only sounds were the cicadas screaming in the trees, that loud, buzzing rhythm of the South. My mom has these thick yellow curtains hanging on her windows and doors. At night, with the porch light on, those curtains become a beacon for every insect in the county. The light was buzzing. It was normal. Suddenly, Malik points at the curtains. He says, "Uncle Ant, look at that monster." I looked up. There was a moth clinging to the fabric, and calling it a moth is an insult. This thing was Jurassic. It was the size of a dinner plate. I'm not exaggerating. It had dark brown wings and a thick, fuzzy body. It looked heavy. It looked like a bird. It was just sitting there, completely still, and staring at us. I was standing there, feeling full, relaxed. Like everything was exactly where it should be after dinner. I saw an opportunity to be the funny uncle. I laughed and said, "Don't be scared, Malik. That's just Big Earl." I took a sip of the beer my mom had just brought me and smiled. "That's your grandpa," I said. "He's checking if we left any ribs behind. He's mad we didn't save him a plate." Malik started giggling. My mom swatted my arm and said, "Anthony, stop playing." But she was smiling too. It broke the tension. It was nice to say his name and laugh. It was just a joke, just banter. But then I kept looking at the moth. Usually bugs are twitchy. They move toward the light. This thing hadn't moved an inch. It was perfectly still, right in the center of the curtain. It felt like it was facing me, like it was listening. I don't know why I did what I did next. Maybe it was the beer. Maybe it was that old dynamic I had with my dad, need to poke the bear. I felt this sudden urge to test it. I stood up from my chair. I walked over to the curtain, staying a few feet back because the thing was huge. I looked right at the moth. I put on my serious face. I said, "All right, Pops. If that's really you, prove it." I pointed to my left forearm. I tapped my skin with my finger. I said, "Come here. Come land right here." I said it loud. I was challenging it. I expected it to fly away into the light bulb. I expected it to do absolutely nothing. But the moment the words left my lips, the moth let go. It didn't flutter frantically. It didn't circle the room. It dropped from the curtain and glided. It moved slow, deliberate, like a drone on a flight path. It flew right past Malik. It flew right past my mom. I watched it coming toward me, and my stomach dropped. I stopped breathing. It glided through the air, came straight at me, and it landed gently, perfectly, on my left forearm. And you won't believe me. It was right where I had pointed. I froze. The thing was heavy. I could actually feel the weight of it pressing down on my skin. I could feel the little hooks on its legs gripping my arm hair. I didn't panic. It didn't try to fly away. It just folded its massive wings down and sat there, facing me. The porch went dead silent. The cicadas seemed to stop. I looked at Malik. His eyes were white as saucers. I looked at my mom. She had her hand over her mouth. She whispered, "Earl." I stood there for a solid minute, frozen, holding this giant insect like I was a falconer. And I felt it. I can't explain it to you scientifically, but I felt a warmth radiate from that spot on my arm. It wasn't body heat. It was an energy. It felt familiar. It felt thick and warm. It felt like him. It felt like that specific energy he had when he walked into a room. It felt like he was laughing at me. It felt like he was saying, "You think you're funny, boy? You think you're the only one with jokes? Aha, watch this." It was the most sobering moment of my life. My cockiness just evaporated. I felt small. I felt seen. I stood there, afraid to make a single move, afraid to break the connection. I just stared at those brown wings, tears pricking my eyes. After a minute, I walked to the edge of the porch toward the garden. I gently blew on the moth. It took off, did one perfect loop around my head, like it did a little victory lap, and flew out into the dark. I sat back down. I didn't finish my beer. My hands were shaking too much. I haven't made a joke about spirits since that night. I don't know if insects can understand English. I don't know if a soul can fit inside a moth, but I know what I asked for. And I know he delivered. I sat there for a long time after he flew away. I realized that I had been using jokes to hide how much I missed him. I was trying to be the tough guy, but he saw right through it. He always did. He came down just to remind me that I don't have to be tough all the time. I just have to be his son. And I hadn't felt that kind of peace in a long time.